Yo everyone, welcome to my ultimate bunny guide for speedrunning invasion operations, hard operations, and open world farming. We will be using Bunnies Transcendent module Electric Condense. This is not a guide for beginners. I have 13 catalysts on my bunny and I could see myself doing at least 2 more in the future. I will not be going over the basics of bunny. We are strictly talking speedrunning, speed farming, and I will not cover any boss related setups or any high voltage builds. Let's talk damage first. Crit rate and crit damage are the best damage gains on Bunny, followed by electric skill power, singular skill power, dangerous ambush, and they go in that order of priority. For electric condense builds, we will not be using any crit mods, even though they are the highest damage gain. To run this setup, we need certain mods for 100% uptime on our 4 to utilize our 20% speed boost as much as possible. Skill damage is still great on this build for hard operations and open world farming. I've fully converted to using Electric Condense. Heading into our mods, I want to cover 2 staple mods that should never be taken off: maximize range and skill expansion. There is no circumstance where I would ever remove these on any bunny build, period. Okay, so what does Electric Condense do? If we just read the module description, it says that it changes maximum power into a form that causes damage around Bunny. But when we actually inspect the ability, we gain a sprint speed increase of 20% for the entire duration. We want to go fast on Bunny, and it doesn't get much better than this. For our ultimate module, we are using Narcissism. With our full duration of Electric Condense, we are getting to 8 stacks, which is getting us up to a 26.4% skill cost reduction. If you do not like Narcissism, MP Collector is a great option. I usually stick with Narcissism for most of the time, taking the skill cost reduction all day. Adding to that, Maximize Conservation with a 35.4% skill cost reduction, and Strong Mentality with a 15.4% skill cost reduction. I use these 2 mods on every bunny build. With that and our 8 stacks of Narcissism, we are at a 77.2 skill cost reduction. For our cooldown mods, we have MP Conversion with a 36.5% cooldown reduction, Nimble Fingers with a 25.6% cooldown reduction, Focus on Electric with a 6.1% cooldown reduction, and Focus on Singular with another 6.1% cooldown reduction. These are not for our lightning emission. These are for our Electric Condense cooldown, which is at 7 seconds. Although with Narcissism, we are getting a 26.4% cooldown increase. This still lines up with our duration for a 100% uptime. And finally, our last 2 mods, which are flex mods. Focus on Singular, which can be swapped to Skill Extension. And Battle of Stamina, which can be swapped to HP Amplification. You will get the same result of 100% uptime on Electric Condense with any of these combos. Just depends, do you want to hit a little harder? Do you need to run faster for longer, or do you need more health to stay alive? Something to keep in mind, without skill extension, you're only getting to 6 stacks of Narcissism. And we are in the lab, and let's see how this all comes together. Pop our Speed of Light, use our lightning emission, and use our Electric Condense. As you can see, it has a very long duration, and we're using very little mana. And it is off and already back up, and we will pop it again. And we have a light speed bunny. And just today we received an update to the inversion reinforcement where they got rid of a lot of the negative modifiers. One that sticks out to me is going to be this one here, selective neurostimulation, which is going to give a lot of MP recovery. Procs once every 60 seconds. You get one of the 3 effects here. Other than that, there's a lot of survivability up here and more survivability here in this row, and these 2, which have to do with some of the mechanics in the invasion dungeons. I don't have a lot of points here, but this is what I selected so far, and I figured I'd just share it with you guys. Let's take a look at our reactor. We have Thunder Cage mounting with electric singular skill power and cooldown duration. Cooldown is a must. Skill cost cooldown or range cooldown is something I have not acquired yet, but they could also be great options. For our components, we have 2 options, Slayer or Annihilation. Both are usable. In open world farming, use whatever you want, but for invasions, killing the mobs is never a problem. They all get 1 shot, but when we get to the boss, we are trying to take them out as fast as possible, and this ends up being with a gun and not skill damage. All the bosses usually hit hard, and most of the time you will be down on HP to proc the firearm attack bonus. On top of that, Annihilation is also going to give us more survivability. For the stats we are looking for on the components, auxiliary power, we are looking for HP and MP recovery out of combat. For our sensor, max MP, MP recovery in combat. For our memory, defense and MP recovery modifier, which I don't have. And for our processor, max shield, shield recovery modifier. Something I don't have is item acquisition distance, which would be great for collecting MP and HP drops, and the brains for those types of invasion missions. Last, let's cover our weapons. We have Thunder Cage with Brisk Walk, giving us another 10% movement speed for 5 seconds with a 15-second cooldown. Nothing game breaking, but we will never be using this gun for damage, so let's take some extra speed. Our Afterglow Sword, I'm still working on mine. This is not best in slot yet. Firearm attack, critical hit rate, critical hit damage, weak point is what I will roll. Mods, we are using weak point expansion, firearm attack mods, and a lot of crit rate, crit damage mods. Piercing Light is going to be another great option for the bosses. And then we have our Enduring Legacy, which is a great option anytime, but especially if the daily modifier is when hitting monsters with high power rounds. Outgoing damage modifier, negative 36.2%. Here's the stats on mine. Colossus damage is going to do nothing in the invasions. I mostly had this set up for bossing. This is a sharp precision shot setup, firearm attack, and lots of crit mods. Hopefully I have covered everything to help get this Electric Condense build set up for you guys. Any questions about the build, ask in the comments, or about certain invasions. I have many speedrun videos up on my channel and more to come. To end the video, I will play a 2-minute, 39-second run of Unknown Lab, and this has been completed after patch 1.1.1 with the changes to the invasions. Thanks for the support, and peace, guys.